Today we're looking at Once Upon a December by Lynn Ahrens and Steve Flaherty from Anastasia. The arrangement I'm using today is at a late beginner intermediate level, so for this tutorial you should have a working knowledge of your bass and treble clef notes, key signatures, pedaling, and eighth note rhythm divisions. If you need a refresher on any of these concepts, go ahead and check out the rest of our channel for tutorials. The arrangement I'm playing from today is from Sheet Music Digital. You can purchase this music by following the link in the description below. In this tutorial, we're going to go over some key areas of this piece and give you the tools you need to be successful as you learn it. We will be looking at pedaling, holding layers of notes, voicing the melody over the accompaniment, counting, and key changes. So let's get started. Okay, so let's take a look at this intro. I'm going to play the beginning for you. Very beautiful intro. Kind of mysterious. In fact, that's how they want you to play it, is misterioso. That means mysteriously. So let's see about these notes. We are in the key of B minor, which is the same key signature as D major, two sharps, F sharp and C sharp, meaning every time we come across one, we're going to make it sharp. That's one as an example. Here's another one as an example. And then somewhere down the page here, we also get an A sharp, but we'll get to that in a second. So let's get our hands in the right position. We have 5 on B here, and 3 on B here. So they've written the 5 for us here. I'm going to put 3 down here for us. And our notes will sound like this. You'll notice we have a dotted half note and then some eighth notes that are tied, and then a dotted half note that's tied on top here to the next dotted half note. Now this all looks a little confusing, so let's walk through it. What's happening here is that we have layers. In fact, we have 4 layers. We have layer number 1, which I'll put in purple, which holds all the way through to here and then plays again here. Layer number 2 in yellow has this 8th rest and then here. Layer number 3 in green starts with a rest and then goes here. So when this happens, we have to be very careful to look at all of the details. So for this bar, our first note, which you can see right there, is our B, which is in our purple layer, which means we have to hold it. And then we layer the yellow, the D, on top and we hold that. So they play one after another. And then our blue layer goes at the top. And then the green, I'm going to change this sharp to a green. There we go. Our green happens after the B. But we still hold the B at the top. Okay? So it would look like this. By the end of the bar, you should be holding 4 notes, even though it looks like there's just 1 note at the end. There are actually 4. There's 1 here, 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 and here. Okay, so I'm going to clear all that just to keep things nice and clean. And let's look at how that goes through the rest of this intro. So there's our first line. You'll notice that this 8th rest means that we have to play the inner line very quickly. 1 and in our left hand. So we kind of go in turn. We go outsides, middle, middle. Now the second line is a little different. We have 1 and 2 and 3 and. bass line, but different notes. So let's look at the notes. We have C sharp and E, B up at the top. Those are the same. So, and then A sharp, our fourth finger is going to go to A sharp, pinky to F sharp. And then one more bar and you're through. So we go back to our B in the right hand, C sharp still in the left hand. And for this last bar, it looks like there are 4 notes, but remember there's a tie here, starting here, which holds all the way through, and we don't play this one. And then up here, we tie the F sharp, and we don't actually play that one. So even though it looks like there's 4 notes, we really only play 2. I'm going to start from the beginning of this page just to show you. Alright, so there's your intro. Let's look at the first verse. This is when we have Anastasia. She starts to sing. Now, we have layers again. You'll see whenever there are rests kind of in the middle underneath notes, you know there's going to be layers. So our left hand and our right hand, they hold through, and then our middle notes happen on beat 2. So it would be 1, and then 2 would be the middle notes, and then 3 is that extra little melody note. And then same for here. Outsides, beat 2 is the middle, and then 3. 1, middle on 2, 3. Okay? So I'm going to clear some of this to make it easier for you to see. Okay, so let's play this together. We have F sharp and B, then the middle notes, then the right hand with the G, and then A sharp, F sharp. So that's all black notes in that bar. Then A and B. Then third beat is the melody. Then a little faster. And the same ideas carry through this whole first page. The one spot I will look at with you is right here, because we have a little complicated dotted quarter note here. So it goes 1 and 2 and 3 and. So it says things I almost remember. So we have almost 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, or 1. So let's play this counting bar again from here. I'm going to count out loud, and remember that last melody note goes on the and of 3. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and. Alright, so everything else in this little section is all the same. You can go through it on your own with your counting and your layers. And if you have trouble remembering your layers, a really good way to help you with that is to draw arrows in the notes that hold that sometimes you forget hold. Or like maybe here, to draw an arrow across would be a really good idea. Okay? So let's move on. Let's look at the chorus. Chorus starts here. I'm going to play it for you. way, gets a little bit easier because we start having forms of chords. Here we have 3 skips making an E minor triad. And then the next bar is also an E minor triad, just without the G. Then we have B in the bass with a little bit of an eighth note, 1 and 2 and 3 and. Same notes but in a different order for the next bar. Then pinky goes to C sharp. And I want you to have your 5, 2, 1 fingering here so that you can put 3 on F sharp here. 1 here. And then back to this original B. From up here, same thing. Then we have a little stranger. We have pinky on D sharp. So D sharp, A, C, and B. Back to our E minor triad. Now this is still E minor triad, but it's just in a different inversion. And then B minor triad, which looks like this. Pinky on B, D, F sharp, and then a little extra D, F sharp at the bottom. Okay, so there's your left hand. Right hand in this section, not so bad. Mostly half notes and quarter notes. So we would start with 4 on A. And then still half note, quarter note. And you'll notice we have a little extra E there. Then we start playing in thirds and fourths. So the very last line right here starts with F sharp and A. All right? When you put that together, it'll sound a little bit like this. Get just a little more complicated. So let's look at this quickly. Left hand first. We have C sharp. And then E sharp and B. Now an E sharp is a white note. It actually is F because this is the closest note higher than E. So E sharp and B would look like this. Next bar we have a nice easy one. 2 white notes, G and F. And then another complicated bar, G flat and F flat. So just when E became E sharp, F is becoming F flat, meaning F is E and E is F. I know, crazy, right? But we're going to play what's written, so that's what's written. So this is basically E, and this is basically F and B. And then after we play this bar, G flat and F flat, we repeat those notes 3 times. Okay? Right hand, we have C sharp, D, C sharp, we layer the B, and then we have the complicated notes in the right hand. G flat, then G and B flat, same notes, but just natural the D. Then here's an F flat. Remember, F flat is E, so B flat and E, or F flat. And G flat. I know, it's okay. If this is confusing for you, or if you need to take another look at this, feel free to pause the video and go over it again, or maybe go over it a little slower, and just practice getting used to these notes and the different names for them and kind of where they are on the keyboard. I'm going to put it together for you very slowly so you can see what it will look like. Okay, now all of this craziness is only happening because we are prepping for a key change. So we go from 2 sharps to 3 flats. We go from the key of B minor to the key of C minor. And so let's take a look at the C minor. I'm going to play it for you. Alright, so that's our C minor section. You'll notice that again, the left hand uses a lot of triads. Our first triad is actually a C minor triad, but it's broken up. We play the C first, remember our layers, so the C first, and then we hold it through, and on top we play the rest of the triad. Together it sound. And then we do something very similar, but with a G triad in first inversion, so that means our B is the lowest note, and then D and G on the top. Back to C. But it's not exactly a C minor triad, it's a C7. And the fingering is 1 or 5, 2, 1. And then a version of an F minor triad. So we go F and A flat, C. Jump to E flat. Move down a step to G. A flat on its own, and G and F. Then if you take a quick peek at the rest of this little section, a lot of the notes are the same as what we just played. Here it's a little different because instead of an A flat, we play an A natural, but otherwise pretty much the same. So the right hand in this section, again, not too bad. Most of the complicated stuff in this piece is in the left hand. So right hand we have E flat and G natural. Oops, remember your A flats. Then here's your layers. So we hold that top note. And again it repeats. Okay, so once you've gone through that, I'm going to play just the end of this little section because we have this very important symbol at the end. So I'm going to start here where it kind of changes. So first order of business, this whole section is pedaled. Don't change the pedal here. Second, we have A natural and an eighth rest above that, meaning we go 1 and 2. Here's your and, 3, and then of course we have these strange symbols, fermatas and what we call a break, or I like to call a break. So let's tackle this last bar. We play A natural to start, E flat, then we layer the A flat and the G, and then the right hand at the same time plays C and E flat. Then we move our hand and we play D, E flat, G. And our very last chord, E flat, C, A and G. Very fancy chord. So all of that together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 1, 2, this sign right here, the one on top, this is a fermata sign, which means hold for a long time. And then on top of that, or beside it, we have a break sign, which means quite literally break, stop the sound. So we would play. And then the next part. Okay, so you're almost done. Let's look at this ending. The ending, we have this 1 and 2 rhythm in the left hand. 1 and 2 and 3 and again 1 and 2. So this middle layer comes on the and. Remember, your bottom layer holds. Then we have straight quarter notes here. 1, 2, 3. And then this in the right hand ties over, so we don't play it, which means even though it looked like you were playing 4 notes here, you're only playing 3. And then the last 4 bars are very similar to your first 4 bars in the whole piece with your layers, except instead of being in B minor, it's in F minor. So we have the rests, the eighths, where it's 1 and then 2 and 3 and repeats. This is a G. And that's it. So let's play that again. And that's it. I hope you enjoyed this tutorial. Be sure to check out the other videos on this channel. Good luck, have fun, and we'll see you next time.
Hey everyone, thanks for watching Merriam's Online Academy. Check back here for more videos and don't forget to subscribe below.